Welcome to the big show. Welcome to what we call firmware material and future stars now. But this is a very special week, Ritster. Tell them all about it.
Man, this is Wednesday night. We are halfway on the way to PPW's Anniversary 8 show. And
I'm telling you,
I cannot wait.
I have not only read about this online, I've talked to people about this. Tickets have been going crazy. You can't get first row. You can't get second row. The last time we had found out about ticket sales was several days ago, and it was what, like 70% sold out already?
60%.
60% sold out.
60%.
And that was days ago. So I'm telling you right now, if you have not gotten your tickets, look at the screen right now. Look at me. You need to buy your tickets right now. Do not be one of those people that says, I wish I would have. And don't be one of those people that says, I could have been, but I was lazy. This is going to be, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the biggest events we might have ever seen in independent wrestling. And it's brought to you by PPW, the premier pro wrestling establishment in the United States. Everybody's wanting to come to PPW. I mean, have you heard all the talk, all the scuttlebutt that's been going on, Ritster?
Oh, my goodness. You have Enzo, Cass, Buddy Murphy, Moose just signed, Rachel Ellery, Mercedes Martinez. You know, the names go on and on.
But we can't forget, the most important is the PPW roster themselves. Themselves alone would sell this place out without a shadow of a doubt. I'm just glad that they are going to be getting recognized by a ton of eyes because they are some of the best professional wrestlers there are, bar none.
Yes, and man, our first guest we have tonight, I actually got a chance to sit down with him after he won the PPW title. So let's pull up the footage and see what he had to say.
FRM Pod Universe, this is the Ritt. I am here with the newly crowned No Limits champion, Rembrandt. Rembrandt, I've got to ask, how's it feel to hold that title after that tables match?
You know, Cosmic knows this. I'm an emotional person. So I will say, this is an emotional moment. This is what I've been working for. This is why I pissed everyone off at PPW management. This is why I do what I do. For this, to prove that my art matters. That her magic matters. Okay? PPW was great. But now, we're on a whole new level of art. Feel me?
Rembrandt, we were talking earlier, and you said you had something up your sleeve. Was that Cosmic interfering?
Of course it was me. Didn't you just hear magic in there?
Man. Hey, congratulations on the title win. We're going to see what's next in PPW.
Hey, I just want to say, get used to this picture. But also, Maddie, this one was for you. And shout out to my grandfather. Love you, Mikey.
Back to you guys.
I don't know what to say. I mean, that guy oozes confidence right now, and he has the it factor. I'm telling you, Ritster, I think this guy's going to be holding on to that title for a very, very long time.
Man, no matter how many times we watch that interview, it doesn't get old, and the man knows what he's talking about. And
indeed, he does.
Let's not waste any more time. He is the PPW No Limits champion. And he has the magic with him. Let's bring in the Rembrandt and your favorite Cosmic.
Oh, hold the applause. Hold the applause.
It's okay. The main eventers are here.
Wow. No curtain jerkers here. Just absolute
besides
dripping in gold.
Wherever I end up on the card, that's the main event. Because ain't nobody following us.
My first question goes to you, Rembrandt. Let me ask you this question. PPW management obviously has woke up and smelled the coffee because they know that the only one The only name that truly matters when it comes to the men's division is Rembrandt. I mean, I'll be honest with you. You took the title, you took it to No Limit, and you took somebody through a table. And in the process, I think you took their pride. How does it feel to walk away with the belt and knowing you're just that damn good?
Oh, somebody's trying to get on my good side. Okay. Well, since you're buttering me up, I will say I am that damn good. And I've known it for a long time. That's the thing, is that I knew I was good way back when I was a son of Dogtown and I was running around in people's houses. I was always that good. I just knew how to play my role. Wait, play the field, learn, and then conquer. What you're seeing now is just art unwinding. And you're finally getting to understand because, see, I operate in 7 dimensions, and you guys only operate in 3. You're not always going to understand what's happening up here. The madness, me pissing people off, me calling out Isaac Rule, a bad man. Let me tell you something right now. But that he ain't Rembrandt. Also, before you go, because, my birthday's coming up, and it makes me think about my beautiful mother, who, I'm a single mom. I'm a single, a parent from a single household, excuse me. But with that being said, you gotta put some respect on my girl's name over there, right? I didn't put Isaac through the table. We put Isaac through the table. We put PPW on notice, because behind every great man is an even greater woman. And baby, I got the best one over there.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's interesting that you said most people obviously are in 3D. You're in 7D. You're in a completely different dimension. But anytime we talk about dimensions, whenever we talk about the unknown world that is magic, it can never be quite explained. But when it comes to the two of you, it's definitely something that's thrown a wrench into so many people's plans. Cosmic, how does it feel to be the one on the outside to know that your man Rembrandt, that combination, that belt's not going anywhere?
I mean, I just have to say, and I've told Rembrandt this all time and time again, he's art. You're art, baby. You're great at everything you do. Everything you do looks great. It's just like magic. And I mean, I'm also just like magic. So it's just like a match made in heaven.
Watching your matches, Rembrandt and Cosmic, you think about all the different individuals, the maestros of the wrestling world, the ones that try to paint just the most beautiful portrait. And some come close, but no one comes close to painting the Sistine Chapels of what happens inside the squared circle quite like you. It may take people decades to finally get to the pinnacle that you're at right now, but this is really just the beginning. What do we think is in store for Rembrandt now that he's gotten this championship? I'm sure your eyes are on more gold.
I'll share a little something with you. A little bit of symbolism, okay? I operated 7 dimensions, right? I'm also a 7-year pro. I won my championship on my 7th year. You think that's by accident? It's not. What I will say is to expect the unexpected. Ooh. But yes, expect the unexpected. I am the No Limits champion. I am the grandson of Extreme. I hope you're proud of me, Mike, by the way. But I am the grandson of Extreme. Will I be watching the heavyweight championship match? Oh, that brings me to a point. Cosmic, I don't know if you remember this. I overheard during where I won my baby that commentary called my champion the television championship. And let me tell you right now, it's been 2 years. Y'all don't off. So Andy Header, great guy. You know, you're a good champion. Not the champion. You're not. All right? So don't. Just like.
You know what? You know what I'm thinking right now, you guys? PPW is so jealous that they are trying to screw with our feed. Now, let me tell you this right now. That's what happens when you're on top. Everybody's not only nipping at your heels, but everybody's got the jealous bug, and they don't want you to get your message out. But you know what? It doesn't surprise me. When you are Rembrandt, when you are wearing the gold, how does it feel when you walk through that curtain in that locker room? Do you just feel the desire to be you from everybody else?
You know what I think? I think everyone, whether they love me or they hate me, whether they love Cosmic or they hate her, you know.
Oh, they love me, by the way. I'm definitely all their favorites, and that's why. First of all, not only are they jealous that he's now the champ, they were so jealous when I came out with him. Like anytime we're together and I'm around his arms, like they're just jealous. They're jealous when we're in the same area, the same shared space. You can feel it because it's so natural for us to take the spotlight. You know what I mean? Like we walk through the room, everyone's looking, everyone's seeing what we're doing. They want to know what we're saying. They want to see they just want to be where we are. And we just don't radiate the same way, you know? Some of us shine brighter than a lot of us. So it's okay to be jealous. It's understood.
Sometimes people's talents can only be described as out of this world. And I think when we talk about Cosmic, what you bring to the table is not just a presence. It's not just the beauty that every woman in PPW wishes they could be, but there's that intangible that you bring to the table as well. Is there anybody you might have your eye on just in case they decide to try to cross your path?
I'm ready for anyone. I'm literally like, who I have my eyes on, I have my eyes on everything. I want everyone. I want everyone to step to me. I want everyone talking about me. I want everyone to be jealous. I just want to be the center of attention. Like, it's okay. If you go to PPW and your main intention is to bump shoulders with me, that's what I want. I'm excited for it. Like, please be jealous. Please be mad. Please be scared. Please love me. Please. I know you do. Like, it's okay. I understand why you do. So it's not like it's not that there's anyone, it's that I want everyone. Yeah.
You know, there's somebody that I think that comes to mind, and she is a champion, but I think everybody would agree that any gold on anyone else's shoulder around their waist pales to the championship that the two of you obviously walk to the ring with. You know, oftentimes a champion makes the man, but in this case, the man makes the championship. How does that feel, Rembrandt, to know that you are the one that has taken that title to a level it has never been seen before?
Did you expect anything differently, honestly? I mean, let's be real, right? Everyone knows I'm so humble, but let's be honest. This was a good championship. And Isaac was a good champion until I came into the picture. Then he became a monster. I pushed him to be the best version of himself, that he had to go to some random part of Pennsylvania to find J.D. Drake, who I had never even heard of before this. So it's like, yeah, I know I elevate people to be better because, truthfully speaking, survival of the fittest out here. I made this championship matter because I matter, okay? PPW matters because I matter. So if I decide one day that, hey, I'm bored, so Cosmic, let's go take over the tag division, then those tag team titles will be the most important title because we have them. If somebody
Wouldn't they look so cute on us, though?
It would. And not to finish my rant, because I ain't done yet. If someone decides they want to, win the world title and they're going to think, oh, damn, brother, I'm the man around here. Well, guess what, Jack? It ain't happening because maybe I'll just call my own shot since it's my damn birthday in 2 weeks.
and I'll win the Rumble for myself. I'll go in number 1. I'll go all the way, and then whoever wins, they can look over at this pretty face and that gorgeous magical girl on the side of me, and they can realize that, damn, no one cares about me because I'm not Rembrandt. And after I have my 15 minutes of fame with Rembrandt, I have to go back to being just an okay wrestler while Rembrandt walks around with more gold than he can hold. But,
Rembrandt, you speak of this battle royal coming up on Saturday. What would happen if, by chance, you turn around and Cosmic makes her debut, and if you two are the last two in that ring?
What are you trying to say? That, we're going to turn on each other or something like that?
Well, there's only one can win.
Any competition is healthy competition. So, I mean, we're a team. This is not like we didn't just meet 2 weeks ago and decided, hey, let's try to win some belts. This has been a long time coming. You just can't divide us. It's just not going to happen. So even if you try to throw in these nasty little words like, what happens if, like, no, even if I won or he won, we would celebrate equally. That's just how it is.
And can I just say, by the way, who says if I win, she don't win? Because when they announce me, when I come out, they say, you're PPW No Limits champion, Rembrandt and Cosmic. You see, here's the difference here. I am a great man, and that is a great woman. We are a team. So we will win the Rumble if Cosmic decides she wants to. Or if I decide I want her to. Who knows? I'm a spur of the moment kind of guy. Maybe Seaton will come in. I'm not trying to fight Seaton, but look at that man. Who is? So the ball's in my court, and I'm not sure what I want to do yet because I've got a birthday to plan, and I'm really not worried.
It seems to me like the universe really revolves around Rembrandt and the cosmic powers that is Cosmic. So, I mean, conventional wisdom would say whatever they choose to do, they are the one pulling the strings and calling the shots. It's always about mind and manipulation. Just when you think you know the answers, they start changing the questions.
That's right. That is right. And can I just say, wow. I keep looking at this title, right? I keep looking at you guys, and I think of, No Limits and what that really means. I think of Jerry Lynn, think of Mikey Whipwreck, obviously. And then I think about us, the grandchildren of Extreme. And, God, I want you to really think about what I'm about to ask you, okay? And I want honest answers. When you think about who you're associated with, and now who you're speaking to right now, really ask yourself, wouldn't you want to be us?
You've got the lineage, you've got the DNA, you've got everything. You've got the looks, you've got the gold, you've got the envy of everybody in PPW. I mean, I'll be honest with you. You guys have talked about gold. Intergender wrestling is really popular. I tell you what, if they ever decided to throw gold that way, I got a feeling you guys could run the table, no pun intended, and take it all in one night.
Yeah, simply put. Yeah, we could. But I mean, to be honest, not to talk about me the entire time, but Cosmic, realistically speaking, she can beat anyone, man or woman, and or other. So
beat them and their moms, by the way.
Shit, not the moms. Well, she's gonna beat you and your mom. Well, it's realistically speaking, I don't care about any intergender. I don't care about weight limits, sex limits. I don't care. We don't care. All we care about right now is spreading our art. And it's really not that bad. a lot of people's lives will feel better once you just acknowledge the fact that I am right. And I am the hero of all our stories. You might not, but
one
you
of the
will.
first steps of like overcoming anything is always like acceptance. That's just how it is. Once you accept it, once you realize it, you recognize it, you stare at it right in the mirror. Like, I will never be this person. I will never be as good as they are. I can never light up a room the way they can light up a room. When I come out, people don't scream for me the way they scream for them. Oh, by the way, did you guys ever take to notice like how many people are so invested in every single thing we do? It's always like a wild house when we come out.
Well, I mean, I've recently been a part of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. There's blogs, there's Twitter. There's all of these places right now that are just literally exploding with all this talk about what's going on with Rembrandt and Cosmic. And I got to throw it to you this way, Cosmic. We will see you in the ring, I assume, at some point, but with Adina Steele and Allie and Christina and Danny and JC, there's so many different people out there. Just give our listening audience just a little bit. What separates you from all of them?
I'm the better built woman. And I have a little bit of magic in me, so it's just not the same. Like I said, when I come into a room, everyone looks at me. Everyone is staring at me. And of course, it's because I'm pretty or whatever. You know, I have a nice height to me. But it's also because I have a strong personality. I don't let you look away. You want to look at me. You understand that? I am your favorite. And I'm always going to be your favorite. The reason I do anything out there is for you guys. All right? So I'm doing all of this from the kindness of my heart because I'm your favorite.
I just wish that the audience in PPW, and I hope, Ritt, that they are truly grateful for the experience that they get to have to be in the presence of two of the biggest stars in wrestling today. It just blows my mind to think that these people are seeing greatness personified. They had better get down on one knee and they better genuflect to the king and the queen of wrestling.
Freland, you was not there when they went and started the show at Aerial Assault. People were expecting, a normal match. But when they heard it was for the No Limits title and they were getting Isaac Rule taking on Rembrandt and Cosmic, that place was deafening. It was uncontrollable. Like you don't expect that to be the opening match you're going to get. That's a main event match.
But think about this, Ritster. Think about this. There is nothing normal about their matches. There's nothing common about their matches, whether it's the first match, which, you know what? I always love the first match because it sets the tone. It tells everybody else, top that. And no matter how much they try, they can't. And Isaac Rule, he thought he was big and bad with all those muscles, and he thought he was going to just use brute force. But it sounds like our friends right here, they have the brains, they have the swag, and they know how to outmatch and outclass anybody, no matter how many muscles you have, because their biggest muscle is in their brain. And it doesn't hurt to have a little magic along with it.
I mean, that's absolutely right, but also, let me just paint a picture real quick, if I may. You've only seen me so far. And let's think about this. Almost breaking my leg couldn't stop me. A global pandemic couldn't stop me. That monster of a man, Isaac Rule, couldn't stop me. Those geeks and sins couldn't stop me. But you only saw me. Do you understand that? Like, you haven't seen Cosmic. You haven't even seen Seaton. So, if I'm changing the world and the canvas right now, just giving you me, what do you think is going to happen when I say, okay, Cosmic, you can go play now. What do you think is going to happen when I say, hey, Seaton, big man, taking the Memphis? What do you think is going to happen? It's all a part of the plan. You guys are operating in 3 dimensions. We know we're great. We know we're great. Damn it, I know I'm great. But we need to help you guys understand that art is what it's all about. Without art, we're all nothing. So, we're doing this out of the kindness of our hearts for you. I put my body on the line as your no limits champion. Pa que tú lo sepas. Okay? Because we care. And you can like me, you can hate me. Quite frankly, I don't give a damn. Because you'll love me at the end of this. Because you'll wake up one day and you say, wow, Rembrandt and Cosmic, they really changed my life.
You know, Ritt, I was thinking about this. This is almost the perfect title, the No Limits. Because when you take Rembrandt and his abilities and you take the magic that is Cosmic, their abilities, their future, there is no limit. I mean, sure, you can have different titles and whatnot, but I think with these two, they will take it to any limit. And there is no such thing as putting a governor on their careers. I have to tell you right now, I am really, really excited. This is going to be a spectacular show. Ritt, where can people go if they want to get tickets to the big event?
Well, like we said before, first and second row are sold out. So, man, to get
And those are my 2 favorite rows.
Hey, to get close to these two, you're going to be in the third row. And I hate to say it, but I don't think these two see past the second row. So you're shot, you know. But if you want to sit in the third row and further back, head on over to ppwwrestling.com and get your tickets.
Yeah,
because Freland, what happens when you wait?
When you wait, you're going to be a derelict. And here's the deal. If you're going to be a derelict and wait, and you are not going to take the opportunity to see Rembrandt and Cosmic live, you are not going to take the opportunity to see the 2 most amazing, universally destroying individuals in PPW, then you don't even deserve to be there. If you haven't already bought your tickets, you better get them now. And when you get to the show, you better say, I'm sorry, Cosmic. I'm sorry, Rembrandt. I waited too long. I'm going to be in the 8th row, probably right where you belong. But you know what? If you're lucky enough to be in the first 2 rows and to be in the kingdom of magic, consider yourself fortunate. But for the rest of you, you need to go on over to ppwwrestling.com. Click on the shop button. You're going to go see an icon that says buy tickets. It's just that simple. You can pull out your credit card, put in how many tickets you want, and then you're all set to go. But Ritt, I'll tell you this right now. I just got a text message. I looked over at my phone. Rumor has it that the first 2 rows are going to be the Magic Kingdom because everybody in the first 2 rows are coming to see these 2.
Hey, I might have to put in a word into the management. I know, Rembrandt, you're not on good terms with the management, but, you know, they have a great all-access spam package this show. When are we going to start getting the Magic Kingdom package?
Ooh.
Well, you see, there's 2 things about that. The first thing is, PPW fans is being ungrateful for a long time. Out here booing me for no reason when I'm out here just trying to, do right by them. But it's all good because Rembrandt forgives and forgets. The second thing is, though, it's like, look at me, right? Look at Cosmic. We already have couples in PPW who are, DMing us, hoping that we will save them from their miserable relationships, even though they sit front row next to each other. So it's a little bit of a stretch for us to say, yeah, we want you all to be able to touch us with no limitations. But Seaton is working on it, and he will find a way for us to intermingle with you in our Magic Kingdom together. Unless you're already one of our favorites. And you can come because we hold it down.
And if you want to be a part of this incredible fan fest, I'm telling you right now, it's extremely limited, even more so than tickets. There's only going to be so many people that are allowed in. It is going to be exclusive of the exclusive. It is going to be the red carpet. It's only going to be certain people allowed. Don't be one of those people who doesn't get your tickets to this show so you can get your merchandise and hope, and I use that word strongly, to rub elbows with the two strongest forces in PPW wrestling. Ritt, I'm telling you right now, I don't think we've ever had a chance to talk to two people who have had more of an influence in the promotion than Cosmic and Rembrandt.
Freland, I honestly don't think that I might not even be able to get in, especially after we started this episode off kind of horribly. Hey, Seaton might sit there and stop me at the front door.
I was thinking about that, and I'm going to let you slide this time. Okay? Pero, don't play yourself again. Also, I want to say, too, for this Rumble, the women in the PPW locker room, I just want to say, I hope you guys enter. Because these hands are equal opportunity. And, the men's division is boring me a little bit, so.
The world title is something that so many people aspire to have, but the world title aspires to be around the waist of Rembrandt as long as he decides that's something he wants. Rembrandt, let me ask you this question. Do you really want to be the world champion for the people, or do you want to be the world champion because, let's be honest, there's no other place it rightfully belongs?
My answer to that question is yes. Because, yes, I am a champion of the people. I am a champion of the people who were told they can't do this. I was a champion of the people who were told they'll never be a wrestler. I was a champion of the people who were told you're too small. You're not big enough. Yada, yada, yada. Okay? And I am a champion of those same people who knew me once upon a time, who recognized the fact that, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. I am the voice of a new generation that is going to showcase their art with no limits, honoring the past, but carving our future. Okay? If I wanted that world title, I'd take it. It's really just that simple. I'll take it. Because realistically speaking, who's going to stop me? We talk about everyone having size and stuff, but I've been undefeated at PPW for 3 years, okay? Singles competition, I have been not pinned, not submitted. I have never been knocked out or tapped out, anything of the sort for 3 years, okay? Three. So, this was just all the culmination of my beautiful painting. But, like I said, world title, tag title, TV title. Oh, hell, I'd be bored. So, women's title.
I mean, it's the passion for me.
And it's the you for me.
When you look at up and down on the PPW roster, there is a lot of talent in there. Now, mind you, talent and greatness are two different things. But let me throw this out at you, Rembrandt. I mean, we talked about Andy Header before. He's a good wrestler. He's not quite Rembrandt. Is there anybody else out there that if they happen to rub you the wrong way, they might just regret it?
Wow. Well, I can pretty much 98% guarantee you that Isaac is going to piss me off again. So I'm going to have to slap him up again soon. I have a couple of receipts waiting for my hairy members of Sins, because you ain't going to jump me and get away with it. And that's on period. But outside of that, no. It just, you know what? It's not about someone who's going to piss me off, but someone who has my attention. Encore and Chris Slade. Those two guys have my attention because I owe Chris Slade a receipt. And Encore, I don't know. There's just something artsy about that kid. I like him.
I got this feeling. I feel like there's this big master plan, Ritt. I mean, when you think about it, Rembrandt is setting the stage right now. He's moving his chess pieces into place. There's a lot of things that are going to be happening, and no one knows the mental game of chess quite like Rembrandt and Cosmic. And I think when the time is right, Cosmic is just going to make the championship reign of anyone nothing more than just a fairy tale.
Man, I'm thinking Rembrandt. Say you go after the world title. In late WCW, Lance Storm held numerous titles and renamed them to fit his own needs. Would you consider renaming the PPW heavyweight title? You know, it's not just a world title. The world's not big enough for you. But the Cosmic title. Because how big it and grand it is.
Ooh.
I like the sound of that.
Like the sound of that? I mean, if my girl likes the sound of that, what can I say?
There's so many people out there. Offa Jr., as we said before, Andy Header, Chris Slade. There's so many people. Bro Keller, Deshaun Pratt. So much talent out there. Is there anybody right now that you think is even close to becoming maybe the protege of Rembrandt? Is there anybody you could say, you know, if you pay your dues and you do things the right way, maybe, just maybe, you might be able to follow in my footsteps? Any names come to mind?
No, because my footsteps are way too big for anyone. But as far as like taking someone under my wing, I'm not opposed to the idea. Like I said, there's something about Encore. I like him, but he's too naive to the world.
He's still young.
Exactly. Other than
He'll
that,
learn.
though, I don't know about taking him under my wing because, you know, he can teach me a few things. But Deshaun Pratt is my guy, heavily. So, you know, I wouldn't mind showing him what a real artist can do and, you know, helping him fix up his canvas as well. If we look at women, well, we don't look past Cosmic, so that's a no.
I mean, there's not much else to look at.
Besides you, me, and this belt, not really. But with that being said, yeah, the only two people I can see are Encore and Deshaun. Encore, it's just something special about him. But Deshaun, he just needs something to focus on. And what better thing to focus on than Cosmic, right?
Well, if you're not focusing on Rembrandt and Cosmic, I'd like to know what you're spending your time doing, because everything else just seems to be pointless.
Well, Rembrandt, I'm kind of curious. Say you win the Battle Royal. You get your shot. Who would you rather see win? We got Bro Keller and Joey Martinez.
Does it really matter? I mean, let me rewind. They're both amazing athletes. Don't get me wrong. Bro has beautiful hair, by the way, and you know, I'm for great hair. So okay, if you want to say that, then maybe I'll pick Bro because of his hair. But it doesn't matter who wins because as great as those athletes are, they're just not me, bro. Like, they're not. It's just a placeholder until I feel like, hey, I'm ready to take that one now. Right now, I'm just basking in the fruits of my labor. You know, it was a lot of work to elevate this. It was a lot of work to bring that monster out of Isaac. You know what I mean? Like, Isaac was really good before Lee, right? But think about the lengths I made him go to. The competitor I turned that monster into. I did that for everyone's benefit. At my expense. Okay? Let me relax a little. Let me enjoy my birthday, my Virgo day. And then once I'm ready to go, I will let you know when I feel like taking the title. But bro, I guess good luck because I like your head. With smile, honestly.
You know, these things kind of leak on the internet quite often. Contract negotiations, who's signing where, who's going to show up where. You got a great contract, but I found out a little interesting information that PPW is wanting to up the ante. But I also read online that you want more limousines. You want to make sure champagne is in your locker room, only the finest hotels. Can you give us any kind of insight if any of those reports are true? And if they are, can we have some details?
Well, they are true. And it's going to happen because, quite frankly, no disrespect, but we are the commodity for PPW. Okay? Without us, it might be an okay show, but it won't be the show. Without me, you won't have the championship. You'll have okay title matches, but you won't have the title match. You won't have a match that's going to make you feel, make you care, make you cry, whatever. You won't have that if we're gone. So, invest in the thing that's investing in you. I brought the best out of your superstars. Give us the best. And also, I mean, my God, look at Cosmic. Why doesn't she get the best all the time?
It's like what he's saying. If we're giving our best, and we are, then why shouldn't we receive it the same way? I mean, who else are going to give it to? There's no one else that's really that worth it.
So Cosmic, well, what are you doing to help Rembrandt train for the Battle Royal coming up this Saturday?
I mean, I wouldn't tell my secrets, but obviously we're physically training together. We're in the ring all the time. Mentally, he's there. He's ready. Like he said, if they call him out at number 1, he's ready to take it the whole way through. So
have you guys reached out to, maybe Amazing Red, maybe Mikey, to say, hey, what do I got to do to make these people see that I am the main event, the main attraction?
Why would I ever need to ask them that question? You see, to be a part of this lineage, you have to be special. You have to be great. You have to be amazing. So, once I was trained, I already knew I was great. They knew I was great. They knew it was only a matter of time until these people understood the fact that I am great. So, no, I didn't contact Mikey or Red because, quite frankly, this is my plan. Everyone's already waking up. It's just, what do I feel like doing about it? And right now, I don't feel like doing anything about it except basking in it. I have my lovely magical girl. And I don't need validation from anyone else because I am a man who stands on his own 2 feet. My work speaks for itself. My paintings, my art, priceless. Okay?
not only that, but we're gonna shine bright whether or not they want to stare right at us. You know what I mean? It's just gonna happen. We're basically gonna blind your eye sockets out. It's just gonna happen. So you can try to turn your back, ignore it, try to see if you can cover your eyes and shield from the brightness, but it's just gonna happen. I shine bright no matter who is behind me, who's not behind me. I did it on my own.
Let me ask you this, Cosmic. If people would love to be under your magical spell, and I'm sure there are many that are, Is there anything people can buy that can show how much they're committed to you? Shirts, autographs, any kind of thing, anything that people can just get a small piece of you?
Well, I am planning to get like little keychains. I know everyone does t-shirts, but I want to do something different. I am planning to come out with little keychains that have like different emotes of my appearance and what I look like. But I also want to say it's not even about buying stuff related to me, even stuff when people like reach out on Instagram or do art for me, like they just draw me and whatever and they share it. I love all that. I live for that. I mean, you want to, make little fan edits of videos and put your favorite song behind it and put all my pictures in it. I love that. You want to write stories that don't really happen and it's like just pure the fan fiction, like that's me. I'm all for it. Like whatever you want to do with me, I'm here for it. Show me your love, show me your admiration. Like this is why I do everything.
You know what? You've given so much to the audience already. It is only fitting that they give back to you what you've given to them. Rembrandt, let me throw this out at you just quickly. I mean, we know who Picasso is. We know who Michelangelo is. We've heard of the Sistine Chapels. We know about the Statue of David. But what you have done in PPW in a such short amount of time has to put you in the pantheon of people who've created masterpieces that are so indelible in the impressions of everyone's minds, they can't even fathom its beauty. How long do you think it's going to take before people truly understand the essence that is Rembrandt?
I'll be honest with you, my friend. No one ever will. The only person who will is my magical girl on that screen. You see, I am a human being with complexity. 7 dimensions, baby. I keep telling everyone, and no one seems to listen. By the time you think you understand what I'm even thinking, I've already executed 5 of my plans. There's no catching up to me, okay? It's just something that you have to experience. Jimi Hendrix, Michael Jackson, Kobe Bryant. Ooh, by the way, those last 2 are Virgos. So. But anyway, people like them, you experience them. You know what I mean? You don't understand them, you experience them. You experience Michael Jackson doing his signature turn and point, and someone in a football stadium, 75 yards away or whatever, faints. A grown man. You have to experience moments like that. You have to experience Rembrandt and Cosmic. You have to experience my entrance. You have to experience my passion, my fire, my will to fight, my will to stay in the limelight, my will to be a champion, my will, our will. And you can't possibly understand what it takes to be me. So don't try. Just experience it. That's all you gotta do. Sit down, buckle up, and enjoy the ride.
Speaking of experiences, you will have a great time anytime you go to PPW. I'm telling you this right now. If you want to, you find out where they're going to be, and you get your tickets. And specifically, get your tickets to the biggest show of the year. It's the 8th anniversary show brought to you by PPW. You can go over to ppwwrestling.com. You hit the shop button. You go to the tickets, and you can get them. They're going fast, you guys. Don't be one of those people who says, I thought I would get tickets. Be the individual who says, I am getting my tickets. Guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. We are so grateful that you were able to grace us with your presence. Any last final parting words for everyone who is new to experiencing Rembrandt and Cosmic?
Well, I'll leave the best for last, so I'll let Cosmic for last. What I will say for now is, myself and this beautiful title will be there on the 11th. Come so you can say happy birthday to the champ and witness me give you another great performance. But also follow me on your little social media platforms at the Rembrandt. And just like I said, relax, unwind, light a candle, just experience all these blessings that Cosmic and I are giving you. Okay?
And the beautiful Cosmic, where can people find you and follow you if you're lucky enough to accept their request?
I'm like a Instagram person. This is like what my daily usage of the internet is. So my handle is Yes Cosmic, and go ahead and follow me. As for what to expect at the next show from us, or why would they even come to see us, it's like I feel like you owe it to yourself to just give yourself the chance to fall in love with me. Let me be your favorite. Let me show you why I'm your favorite. You're just going to love it. It's going to be a great time, and I'll love it. You'll love it. We'll all be happy. And even if somehow you're just like, no, boo, boo, Cosmic, I don't like you anyways. I mean, at least you're still paying attention to me. You're still looking.
I'm telling you right now, guys, this is not something you're going to want to miss. This is the preeminent duo in professional wrestling. It has been a pleasure. It has been an honor.
I can't believe that you're going to cut me up.
Well, we're not going to ask them this question.
Oh, no,
we're not going to ask them this question. No, we're not going to ruin this interview with the question.
Hey, we are asking this question because I got to know what greatness thinks.
Okay.
You know they're gonna drop the feed. You realize they're gonna leave.
If they didn't leave by now, they're not going to leave.
I don't know about all that, but you know what? I apologize.
Man,
let my bearded friend ask his question.
Okay, hot tub time machine. You can go back into time to any wrestling match in any point in time. Take somebody out and put yourself in that match. Cosmic, Rembrandt, what match are you guys going to?
I think for me, it would have to be Mania 25 against Taker. Taker is a big part of why I do this. He was my first experience with wrestling. But, you know, I think I could take the dead man. You know, a little art never hurt anybody. And as far for our magical girl, to be honest with you, this isn't a question for her, because why would she go back to fight anyone when everyone should be traveling forward to come fight her? So, with all due respect, we ain't looking for nobody, okay? Except for the Undertaker, but you know, whatever.
I mean, Undertaker's a fave.
So, hot tub touch. If it ain't Taker, it ain't nobody. And, by the way, we would jump you, just so you know. It won't be like me and Cosmic will put the boots on you.
And your mom's, by the way.
Oh, and your mom.
You better watch out. You better hide your moms as well. But, you know, I've heard those beeps going. People are following these individuals like you wouldn't believe. That's social media for you right there. They are that hot. And by the way, one of those dings probably was me, too. So I just thought I would throw that out there. Oh, absolutely. And it is my privilege and my honor to get a chance to follow the goddess of PPW. And without a doubt, the man who's going to be painting his masterpiece all over anyone who gets in his way, the one and only, the enigmatic Rembrandt. Both of you, it has been a pleasure, and I can't wait to get a chance to talk to you guys again.
Well, the pleasure was definitely yours, but we will do this again.
All right, guys.
Thanks
we will talk to you down the road. Thank you.
I'll see you Saturday at PPW.
Bye.
It's going to be good. Wow.
Man.
Wow. I was mystified. I was mesmerized. I mean, she talked and it was just like, she's right though. you can't take your eyes off of her. There's certain people, Ritt, I'm telling you right now, that are just, they've got the it factor. They got the look, the eyes, the way they talk, the way they walk, the way they carry themselves.
The confidence.
Wow.
And man, just like I told you before, the entrance these two put on at PPW.
Unbelievable.
Was unbelievable and over the top.
Well, I'm telling you guys, once again, please, please, please get your tickets now at ppwwrestling.com. Go on over to tickets. You can click on it. You can click on it a lot. You may or may not necessarily get your tickets, but you definitely can. I definitely recommend you do it right now. It is one of the hottest, if not the hottest, promotion right now in the United States, located in the wonderful state of Pennsylvania. It is going to be a great night on Saturday.
Definitely.
And the Ritzter, he just left it. Did he leave me to go ahead and get the rub from Cosmic and Rembrandt? I mean, listen, I know this guy fanboys out for people. I mean, let's be honest here. I was fanboying out on my phone, but at least I had the decency to kind of keep it on the down low. But the Ritzter, well, you know him. He loves to rub elbows with the elite of the elite. Are you back there now, buddy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had a feeling. Unbelievable. Look at you. Messing around in mission control, trying to change things, hanging out with the stars.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to bring the stars in. So, well, let's just go to a quick commercial break.
Oh, my God. You just when I get talking more about him, you want to go to a break? Look at you. You're red in the face. You know what's up. You know also on Saturday night, you may or may not get in that gate. I just want to let you know.
I don't know if I'm going to get in the gate.
Now, I don't do very well with turnstiles, and I can admit that. I'm kind of a portly individual, but I will be here in the studio holding it down. But you know what? There's so much to talk about this major show. But you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's throw it to commercial. And we'll be back. Welcome back to the program. This is the build-up to PPW's 8th anniversary show. My name is Mike Freland. As always, I am joined by my incomparable broadcast partner. His name is
The Ritt.
And he's doing his best impersonation right now of Adam Schefter as he continues to DM and email and people get back to you. Literally right now, that's all you do. I kid you not. You are in contact with the names of everybody who would love to come on this show. But you know what? This is PPW week, my friend. So unfortunately, everybody else is going to have to hold off.
Yes, definitely.
Man.
So
what's on your mind?
Well, I got good news and bad news.
Got what? Good news and bad news.
All right, good news is we have a great guest tonight, Project Mayhem, coming up here in a few minutes.
Ooh, Project Mayhem. I like the sound of that.
Bad news is, Freeland.
Yeah?
You're going to have to do this on your own.
Going to be solo on this one?
Yeah, I got this much water in my basement right now.
Hold on a second. You got what?
This much water on my basement.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear about that.
Let's let you do your thing. I'll bounce off and hopefully I'll be back on.
Sounds like a plan.
So I apologize and I'll be back.
Project Mayhem. I mean, I tell you what, I could not be more excited to get a chance to do this interview. As the Ritt says, he's got water in his basement. I think he's got water between his ears, to be honest with you. But that's just between you and me. When we talk about all the different stars that are in PPW. I think one of them that has to come to mind is Project Mayhem. I mean, when you think about rosters and you think about how you would build a roster, what better way to build a roster than go ahead and having Project Mayhem? I'm so excited to get a chance to be able to speak with him. It is going to be a great, great interview. There's no doubt that when you talk to people for the very first time, you're going to learn things that you never thought you'd learn before. But you know what? That is the beauty. Project Mayhem. And you know what? If you want to see Project Mayhem, if you would love to see everybody that's at PPW, there's only one way to do it, to be honest with you. You're going to have to go on over to ppwrestling.com. Go over there and get your tickets. I'm going to walk you through the process. You're going to go to the website. You're going to click on the very top of the screen. It's going to say shop. I'm not even that technically literate. Well, more than Jerry Lynn, but click on shop. The next thing you're going to see is buy tickets. You're going to click on that right there. You pick your quantity. You try to pick where you want to sit. And then you go ahead and check out. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. PPW is going to have a star-studded lineup for this show, and I want to bring you some of the things that are going to be happening at PPW show on Saturday night. It is going to be the 8th anniversary show. If you thought the first 7 were great, you know what? It's going to be even better. Ace Austin takes on KC Navarro. It's going to be one of the best matches that you've seen, not only from Ace Austin, but I think KC Navarro is going to bring it to a whole new level. Bobby Fish takes on Deshaun Pratt. That right there is a game changer. Bobby Fish is one of the most well-known members of the Undisputed Era, and he is now bringing his talents to PPW. But what does Deshaun Pratt have to say about that? We're just going to have to wait and find out. Also, we have so many other matches here. You heard that there's going to be a big battle royal. That's true. We're going to have one. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to be the winner? The last one standing is going to get a shot at the championship. Who is going to be champion at that time? Well, we don't quite know, because going into the big event, the championship is vacant. But you know what? What's not going to be vacant? Seats at this show. Go to ppw.com. You're going to go ahead and get your tickets. Go ahead and click on that. You're going to be able to pick how many tickets you want, if you still can. You're going to go ahead and put your credit card information in, and there you are. You are set for a huge night of wrestling. It's going to be Sambo's show to defend against Project Mayhem. This is what we're going to be talking about in a very short amount of time. Also, Mercedes, Rachel Ellering, Christina all face off. It's going to be a great 3-way dance at the 8th anniversary show of PPW. Juventud Carrero, you've seen him in the 5 levels of Jericho. He's going to be taking on Enzo and so many more, but we will get to the rest of the card soon. We need to go ahead and bring in Project Mayhem as we speak right now. Let me go ahead and bring them on. Good evening and welcome to the big countdown.
How's it going?
It is going well. So there's so many things that we want to talk to you about leading up to obviously what's going to be a huge night with PPW. So
yes,
what's your thoughts going into it, and what do you hope happens by the end of the show?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I kind of hope that by the end of the night, you know, you'll be seeing new PPW Tag Team Champions, Project Mayhem. But it's a tough task ahead of us. I feel like the last 2 shows, I've got to showcase more or less who I am, what I can do in the ring. But now the pressure is kind of on, so to speak. That it's their biggest show, so the pressure is definitely on. But I feel like we're more than ready to be up for the task, you know?
Now, you know, being tag team champions, there's a lot of prestige, but also, I mean, it's paying your dues. It is putting in the time. And obviously, when you get the opportunity, you got to bring it all the way. What are some things that you're doing right now to get yourself prepared for this big tag team match?
More than anything, I feel like it's more of a mental game. I know that the guys, Sambo team, they're very experienced. They're very fast. They just congrats to them for their recent showings at AEW Dark. That's a big step up. So for me, I feel like it's more of a mental game of show them why you're here, show them that you belong here, show them that you're capable of handling yourself. And besides the regular training and working out, I'm at it every day. Making sure that I'm physically prepared, for a battle that day.
For some of our listeners who may not be as familiar with Project Mayhem, tell us a little about Project Mayhem, how it all came to be, and how you guys got put into the situation for the Tag Team Championship.
Sure. So I started off as being sort of a minion for Smiley, who is to join shortly, and it kind of blossomed into this friendship of ideas and the psychology behind wrestling and the understanding of what wrestling is. And it just grew into more of a brotherhood more than anything. Like, I got his back, he got mine. And we find ourselves at a point in life where we want to really show out. We really want to show people that we are the best tag team, if not some of the best professional wrestlers, coming out of the East Coast. So this is kind of like the beginning steps to show that.
So you mentioned Smiley. Obviously, what was it that made you decide that you wanted to align yourself with Smiley? Was there one thing, or was there multiple things that made you decide that, you know what, I think I want to hook my card up to this?
Oh man, it was so much. Smiley's such an innovative wrestler. His presence in the ring, his charisma, his understanding of how to engage with a crowd and just people, and the connectivity he makes along the way is something that I really wanted to align myself with. I know he's at a point where he wants to take it up to the next level, and I'm always looking in my young career to take it up to the next level as well. So it just ended up being a perfect time for both of us.
Obviously, there's a ton of great tag teams out there, especially all over the independent scene. What do you think makes your team unique and that stands out from others that are out there right now?
I think more than anything, we have a sense of mystery, something that has yet to be seen. When people first see us, we give them a little bit of something, and maybe they have a feeling of what they're going to get the next time around, and by the next time we completely change it. It's like that Roddy Piper saying, like, you think you have the answers, but then we change the questions. Just when you have an idea of who we are, we change it in our style, in our delivery, in our approach to certain opponents. So it's really like a mystery of which Project Mayhem are you getting today,
I'm glad you brought that up, because it's so interesting. Whenever you start preparing for a match, whether it be a tag team or singles, you scout your opponent. And
right.
The good tag teams obviously know the ins and outs and everything that they need to do to get to the weakness of their opponents. But I think from what I'm hearing and what I've researched on you guys, you change it up so much. Everything is very unpredictable, but it is in a lot of ways a very controlled chaos. Tell us, was there anybody who inspired you or Smiley as well, as far as your in-ring tactics or your arsenal when it comes to in the ring?
Sure. So I can't speak for Smiley. Hopefully he'll be on here soon enough to, engage himself. But for me, it was a lot of like the Amazing Reds and the Samoa Joes, Triple H and Edge, and guys that were methodical in how they move, and every hit had a sense of purpose. It wasn't just to beat down a system or to just beat down a guy. It was very methodical. It was like, if you're taking the leg, you're taking the leg for this specific reason. If you're going to the top rope, it was for a specific reason, and everything had meaning behind it. So those are some of the guys that I looked up to and definitely still study to this day. One of those things that like you watch their matches as a fan growing up, and it's mind-boggling. It's the best thing you've ever seen. And now that I'm in the position where I'm at, to go back and study that and catch certain things that you didn't really know about or understand before, it's a blessing to have now.
You're still very young in your career, but I think this is a question worth asking. How do you feel personally, how you've evolved since you first stepped into the ring to where you are now as a wrestler? Do you feel like there's been incredible growth, or do you feel like it's one of those slow burns that the payoff is definitely going to be seen in the near future?
That's kind of a hard one because I feel like I have grown a tremendous amount since my first training days. I've definitely grown into a better human being through wrestling. It's definitely saved my life and gave me more discipline than I have ever really anticipated. And I feel like this is something that is going to continue to happen. I've heard horror stories about how people let it get to a certain level in their head, and for me, I don't know how that happens because everything is just such a blessing to have now compared to what I knew growing up, especially coming into this now. And it's such a change and for the better, so to speak. And it's just given me such great discipline. Like I would just never trade it for anything in the world.
A lot of people we've talked to have mentioned before, they watch wrestling and I'll even admit, even in my life, wrestling was that one constant thing. It was something that
always.
I could always rely on. The people were always there on the TV. It was a sense of consistency that I needed at that time. And so when you look back at those times when you absolutely needed that extra oomph or that element of your life to kind of get you through certain moments, who you mentioned Triple H and you mentioned Edge and you mentioned a lot of different stars, but was there any one moment that crossed your mind and said, right there, that is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, it was it was actually very early in my life too. I didn't really grow up wanting to be a wrestler, but there were moments where I just knew if I could get something close to this, it would be worth it. So the first time that ever happened was WrestleMania 17. It was the TLC match, Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian.
Yep.
And I had never felt such excitement before in my young life. You go to the park, it's excitement. You go to movies and baseball games and things like that. That's supposed to be exciting for a young child. Nothing had hit the magnitude of that match. And like the way I felt towards the whole thing from beginning to end, just out of my seat, jumping up and down, screaming hysterically. And I just knew that if I could reach something close to that, then it would be worth it. Yeah.
It's interesting you mentioned as far as just the excitement and adulation that you had felt for wrestling itself. Now looking at it through a different pair of eyes and in a different pair of glasses, how do you feel now when there's people who come to shows and see you? And has it really sunk in yet now that you are giving, or I should say providing, those types of memories for those now on the other side of the rail?
Yeah, it's very surreal still, to have someone see me and maybe want a picture or an autograph. It's not something that I've accustomed to yet. Probably never will, but I think I'm just kind of happy to be in that predicament, happy to kind of pay it forward, even if it's this early in my career. Yeah, man, I'm just having a blast trying to prove that I belong. And if people enjoy what they see, then, that's perfect. If they, for whatever reason don't, then that's fine with me too. I'll just continue to have more opportunities to do so,
No, I'm with you 100%. If you're joining us right now, we are so excited right now to have obviously one half of Project Mayhem. This is the big buildup. I mean, Saturday is going to be huge. And I don't think I can emphasize that enough. But what's interesting is they often say at big shows, stop and soak it all in and enjoy it. Do you feel like it's easier said than done, especially when you're in a huge match, the tag titles are on the line? I might not quite soak it all in the moment.
There's definitely something to that, where in the moment you kind of forget to look around and definitely feel what everyone else is feeling. I used to think about that a lot of the times, but so far I have been fortunate enough to have a moment where I always, even for a second, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I always tend to look around and just soak it in for however long I can. And for me, that feels like a lot, maybe not so much on camera, but there's always a moment always in every single one of my matches where I feel like, yeah, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be here right now. And yeah, September is going to be no different. There's going to be a lot more eyes though. So that's the only difference here.
You know, it's so neat to hear people's stories and find out where they came from to how they got here. And I feel like in so many instances, all we focus on is someone's accomplishments, which are great, but that old adage is about the journey and not necessarily 100%. The destination is so powerful because, you know, you shared with us, there were moments in life that it was tough, but you persevered and you're here because of your character and because you decided that, no, I love this too much to let something like this slip away. When it came to training in wrestling, who did you train with? How did that come about? And what were some things that you took away from those who trained you?
Sure. So I train over at House of Glory with the amazing Ritt and Brian XL. I think I've truly lucked out in where to train. At the time, I didn't know much about where to apply or more or less how to look up training schools because that's not something that's highly advertised ever. I just knew that I had to go somewhere local. And luckily for me, being from New York, they were right there. But the training that I got from them was something that I couldn't even comprehend even early on. I knew that it would be hard. You know, it's not natural for one to get into a ring all of a sudden and learn how to fall and throw their body around, you know, learn how to catch people and throw people around, maybe double their size. It's not natural for that. But training with them and the discipline that they've instilled in me now, it's just on a whole nother level. I'm able to comprehend things a lot more. Very thankful for them. Their training is like the toughest thing ever, but it's very worth it. And if you happen to have that mindset that you see it through to the end, then you know you'll have moments where you can look around and actually smell the roses and appreciate where you are, and not think about so much of how difficult it is, but to think about how stronger you are as a person when you get through that time, you know?
Yeah, it definitely makes you feel, it changes you. And
100%, 100%. Yeah.
It not only for wrestling, but it's a body, mind, and soul experience in transformation because you can't. It's not like you can turn the switch off in one aspect of your life and then turn it back on somewhere else. It literally permeates through your entire existence because everything that goes into it, I mean, it washes over you and one aspect of it bleeds into another aspect of it. And I think from the people we have talked to, the really successful people in the wrestling business, it's in them. And I know that sounds so cliche to say it's in their DNA, but it just is. Some people have such a passion for something that you don't know where that individual started and where the wrestling is because the individual and the wrestling intertwine so beautifully that it's a very symbiotic relationship, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. There's a saying, right? Everything is wrestling, right? If you look at pop culture now, no one sees a movie these days and be like, oh, that movie was so scripted. Everything is wrestling. And I feel like the ones who made it on top, the ones who made it the most successful and the furthest definitely had to have done that, right? You can't just leave your work stuff at work sometimes. You have to take it home with you and vice versa. That's just, it's just an act of how to balance it all,
Well, you know what? Right now, we are lucky enough. Smiley is going to be joining us here. We are so thrilled about that. It's one of these things where when you get to talk to tag teams, it's neat to see the brotherhood that it is. And the fact that it is one oiled machine, one doesn't know where one starts, where one ends. Why? Because it's just one fluid motion. And tag team wrestling has to be, in my opinion, the hardest type of wrestling because you got to work with each other. You got to be in sync. You have to know when one is going to do something. You have to anticipate things. So let me go ahead without further ado. Let me bring in a star in his own right, and we're so glad to welcome him in. Smiley, come on in here. It is so exciting to have you on here.
Thank you for having me.
That's my guy.
What's up, bud?
What's up, buddy?
So we were just talking about it's going to be a big show coming up on Saturday, the 11th, and so many people have all eyes on PPW right now. Smiley, let me ask you this question. You know, when it comes to big events like this, I was just talking to your partner. What's going through your mind? Obviously, the tag titles are on the line. There's going to be a packed house. It's going to be ruckus. What kind of goes through your head right when you go through that curtain, knowing there's so much that is going to dictate my career going forward after tonight?
For me personally, it's how unpredictable can I possibly be? Like, I love going out there and like throwing a bunch of stuff out that the other guy has no idea how to respond to because he's never seen before. It, you know, stuns my opponent. He doesn't know how to react. And at the same time, the fans love it because that's something they've never seen. Like, there's only so many times you can see a Canadian destroyer before it gets boring.
Oh,
but if I go in house show dive into a Canadian destroyer, that's something different. That's unique.
Yep.
Nobody's seen that one before.
Well, and we were talking about this before you came on, but one aspect that I think we all can agree on, and all the fans of PPW can agree on, is that what you guys bring to the table is that level of unpredictability. No one quite knows what version of Project Mayhem they're going to get. They may think they're going to get what they saw in the last match at the last show, but you know what? Maybe it's going to be different this time. Maybe it won't be. But maybe, just maybe, we're going to keep you on your toes just enough to throw you off and to get the 1, 2, 3. And it only takes 3 seconds to change history.
Oh, without a doubt. And like, I guess that's kind of the benefit to like having a couple screws loose upstairs is like you have that ability to somebody try to call. You have that ability to channel different things. Like sometimes the guy that's showing up is friendly, happy, and slap you in the ass and make you laugh. Other times, maybe he's probably gonna go in there and try and tear your freaking head off and shove it down your neck, you know? So you never know exactly who's gonna show up, and I like that unpredictability to me personally.
Yeah. There's a level of mystery added to it. It's a perfect mix, you know? You just never know which version you're gonna get. And if you're, to be quite honest, if you're fortunate enough, you'll get the most chaotic version of us and we'll make magic all the way through. Right?
No, absolutely. And I mean, it's controlled chaos. And I mean, that's basically what it is. On the outside, it may seem crazy and things are happening and expect the unexpected, but inside your minds, this was exactly how it was designed. You know, you're trying to throw people off. You're trying to make people think that you are doing something you're not supposed to. And I think that makes it really hard for other teams to scout and to study you because there is 4, 5, 6, 7 different versions of you. I have a very, very good feeling about what the outcome is going to be Saturday night. What do you think about your opponents going into this match?
So, funny story going into this match. I actually have a bit of a personal relationship with one of them. So, my manager and my girlfriend and the mother of our child, Sam Adams is actually her cousin.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going in this
small world
fighting family. So that's going to be a bit of a twist and hopefully doesn't stir up any issues with the family going afterwards. Because if I break their cousin's ankle or something like that, I might not be welcome at Thanksgiving dinner.
Hey, when there's gold money on the line. Yeah, I mean,
blood is thicker than water, but gold is pretty fucking shiny.
Oh my gosh. And when your bank account is pretty hefty, I tell you what, those tears, they dry up real quick because you can buy 10 turkeys at that point in time.
Oh, yeah.
Let me throw this at you, Smiley. Obviously, you know, we were talking about this before you came on, but what was it, at least in your eyes, that made this duo so need to happen? What is it in your eyes as far as what you saw in your partner that made you decide that, you know what, this is the best fit and we together become an unstoppable force.
For me, when I would watch him getting ready and training and putting in the work, I quickly saw that there was a lot of me in there. You know, I saw almost like a mirror reflection of myself. Like, he's hungry to learn and he wants to just eat up everything. Like, I would show up and be like, hey, let me show you something different. And he would eat it up. And then next thing you know, his next day at training, he's doing it to some of the younger kids. And like, he would take what I would give him and he would just like hold it all in, and he loved it. So like, for me, as soon as I saw that, it's like, all right, this is somebody that I can really work with, because he has the same mentality as me. Like, he's probably got a couple screws loose upstairs himself. He just don't know it yet.
A little bit.
But like, we have that same mind link. Like, we're both hungry for it. We both have like this drive for it. And I just want to take my experience and then just pass that on to him. Because I've been at it 8 years now. You've been at it 8 months now.
Yeah.
But I can feed all of that information and all of that knowledge I've built over the years, pass that on to you. And it's just like that's like mixing two combustible elements together. And it's just caused all sorts of craziness.
Yeah.
I think no matter how you look at it, I mean, so many people can say, you know, what is time? You know, time can either make someone seasoned, or you can have people who just are naturals, and people who pick up on things, and people who, you know, they talk about people who are old souls, people who just understand things in a way that a lot of people don't. So I feel like sometimes when you're early in your career and you're picking up these things and you're witnessing kind of a transformation of somebody as they come into themselves, it's got to be a good feeling, especially when you see a little bit of yourself in them, because it's like, well, wait a minute, we're kind of on that same plane. I may have been here a little bit longer, but man, I know exactly where you were and I know exactly where you're going.
Oh,
there's
absolutely.
definitely a lot of that.
Like,
there's definitely a lot of that in here. Like, a lot.
So a big question I always like to ask people is, you know, why tag team wrestling? You know, a lot of people, you know, are singles wrestlers, but tag team wrestling, as I mentioned earlier, is a completely different animal. In my opinion, it is the most difficult form of pro wrestling, because there is so many things going on. There are so many things that you're doing. And it's got to be poetry in motion. I mean, there's a team, I personally, my favorite is the Lucha Brothers, because there's just, it's art, it's beautiful. It's this mayhem that just seems to work, and it seems to draw the audience in. So how do you guys feel about where you are right now to where you could be, or where you believe you'll be in, let's say, a year or two from now?
You want to go first? I feel like you should go first. You should go first.
To me, the thing I love about like tag team wrestling is like kind of like that chaoticness to it. Like, it's not just one-on-one. You got one guy to focus on. That's your target. Kill. No, now it's like, I'm going to kill you, but this guy behind me might blindside me, you know? So now it's like, you got to watch in front and back. Now you got a partner to watch your back, and I'm watching his. So like, I love that element of like the chaoticness, and like, I admit I love coming up with crazy things to do in the ring, like I said before, that nobody else has seen. And when I got more bodies to do that with, it makes it so much more fun. You got more colors to paint your canvas with. You get a lot more chaotic of a photo. You know,
we talk about a great wrestler named Rembrandt who paints his masterpieces in the ring, but you know, there's nothing like having two Picassos in there who are going to be making their masterpiece as well. And a pause here, guys. If you really enjoying this, I'm telling you right now, do yourself a favor. Go and click on the link. Go to ppwwrestling.com. There's a little tab at the top. It says shop. Click on that. That'll take you exactly where you can buy your tickets. Now, I'm going to not promise you anything because tickets are going fast for this huge show. One of the biggest matches is going to be for the tag team championship. A lot of people are talking on social media this could steal the show, that this could be absolutely something that people remember from anniversary show to anniversary show, people are going to say, hey, at 8, I was there and I saw this. Buy your tickets right now. Don't be one of those people who says, I think I'll get tickets, because if you don't, you're going to be locked out. This is not only going to be a huge show, the tag titles are on the line. There's a huge fan fest as well, guys. Let's kind of talk a little bit about the fan fest, and obviously you guys getting to meet and interact with fans. What's that like? And what are some of the things that people say to you guys, obviously, when you guys are at PPW?
I think at first glance, people are they have the sense of, whoa, what are those guys? Like, what are they doing? What are they about? It's not often that just two guys in masks end up doing crazy stuff and mingle with everybody, and not only just mingle, but interact with everybody individually in their own way. It's not like just a, hey, how you doing? It's a very specific reading towards you. Maybe we'll say something about your shirt, or like what you're wearing, or like we might strike up conversation. It's things like that I feel like adds to the a fan experience. You know, they paid a lot of money, a lot of hard-earned money to come watch us. So in turn, I have to give something back to you other than just my performance. I need to, you know, give you something to go home and memory, and with a memory of, you know.
No, I totally agree. We were talking earlier in the conversation about, you know, some people or tag teams or singles wrestlers that inspired you. And obviously the big match that we talked about before you came on was WrestleMania 17, the TLC match, obviously Edge and Christian, the Hardys and the Dudleys. For you, Smiley, what was it? What inspired you? What did you see when it came to wrestling that made you decide that this is what you wanted to do? Whoops. Hold on. Technical difficulties. There we go.
Sorry about that. Somehow I lost connection or whatnot.
Yep. So, you know, we talked earlier before you came on that, you know, WrestleMania 17, your tag team partner named one of the greatest triple threat, three-way dance, whatever you want to call it, with tag teams at 17, which arguably is one of the greatest matches of all time. And those 6 individuals made it. And they made it so memorable. What for you is a match or a moment that was memorable, that stuck with you, that said, yep, that's what I'm going to do?
Oof. Ironically enough, the first one that really hooked me was a tag team match. It was a 3-on-3. I remember being a very young child running around my grandmother's house with my little brother, and out walked Legion of Doom, coming out with like the spiked shoulder pads and the face paint.
Yes.
And instantly I saw that and I sat right down between my uncles, and I'm like, oh, what is this, and why has this not been consuming my life since now? Like, I was probably like 6 at the time, 6 or 7, something like that.
You're making me feel super old.
Oh, I'm a bit seasoned myself in the age department, so I understand. But like, literally the first match I ever saw was Legion of Doom and Ultimate Warrior versus Demolition. And it was like a Saturday, I want to say like a Saturday night main event kind of thing, maybe. I can't remember exactly, but I was sold. Like,
you were christened by some incredible wrestlers. I mean, that is one hell of a match to say, there you go. Wow.
Yeah, for real.
And once that bug bit, man, like it was a spiral. Like from there, like I became hooked on wrestling. And then like when I got older and maybe like 11-ish, 12-ish, you know, I went to one of my friend's house, and his dad was a wrestling fan and he was a tape collector. So he was a tape trader. So that's when I started like, well, let's go watch some of his tapes. And like we'd start popping them in, and all of a sudden like I start finding videos of like El Santo and Mil Mascaras. And I'm like, what is this?
Yes.
What is going on here? And then like you start getting like the Japanese stuff, the Kawadas, the Kobashis. And it just, my mind was blown. And memory serves correct, I might have been a naughty boy and I might have stolen a couple of them VHSs, which I wish I could find, but I think the bug bit bad.
I think the thing that's really interesting about wrestling is there's so many different offshoots of it, different genres of it, meaning you have obviously the North American version, which in some ways, was big entertainment. But then when you go down and there's lucha libre wrestling, and it's such a respected, it is so embedded in the culture and so revered by people. I mean, generations upon generations, are down in Mexico, and obviously there's people in Tijuana, and and the mask means so very much. There's such a prestige that comes with that as well. And also with Japan, how would you say that your enjoyment when it comes to either Mexican wrestling, lucha libre, Japanese, or the more of the United States style wrestling, which one appeals to you more, if there is one?
I can't pick one. Like, I definitely can't pick one, because like it's much like my playlist when I'm out working out or something like that. Like, that thing flips from Slipknot to Benny Goodman to like Shakira. Like, it will go all over the place. So like, I'll be sitting there one moment watching Kawada and Kobashi go at it. Then I flip over to maybe something from England, and I start watching some Dean Allmark, who's a more recent guy. Then I switch over to Japan, and it's like my favorites were always like Solar and Negro Navarro, like those matches, like the submissions they came up with, the originality, and like, I was hooked.
I recently watched Triple Mania, and I think what I love the most about wrestling is how happy fans are, and the level of, and just, we talked about this earlier, the joy that wrestling brings to people. And it is that thing that no matter what is happening in your life for that show, it seems like everything goes away for a little while and everything seems to be okay. And then that the next show's coming down the road. So whatever I got to get through, I'll get through, because I know that there's that next life preserver out there that's going to help me. And I think that's what brings wrestling fans together. That's what breeds wrestling fans into wrestlers. And then, I personally think people who are wrestling fans who become professional wrestlers are the absolute best. And I'll tell you why, because they got into it because it's in here, and you can't fake that. There's some people who get into wrestling obviously because they want to be well known or famous or whatever. And that's fine and all, but you know what? That'll wear away really quickly unless you truly love what you are doing, because the road is brutal. The pay isn't great. The dues are hard, but you know what? When you love something, it kind of supersedes all of that. And when you show that passion, other promoters are going to see that, and they're going to say, that's the person I want to go ahead and strap the wagon to, and I want to put a rocket on them. And that's what's exciting about it. The ones who eat, sleep, and breathe it get their just due. And I don't know, it's when you're in the wrestling community, you almost feel like you are in one way or another related to each other in some way, because we're all kind of in this 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, whether we're on one side of the aisle or we're not. So what does it mean to you, Smiley, when people come up to you and they say, thank you for the match, or I love watching your matches? Does it ever get old? Or does it ever feel repetitious, or is it still just that jittery feeling every time someone comes up to you?
It's without a doubt, it never gets old. And like I personally, I have a kind of like a feeling of it, like I guess like a self quote, but like I always tell myself, like, my measure of success is not by how many people have seen me wrestle, but how many lives I touched while wrestling. So like I just did a project. It's on YouTube right now. It's called Wrestling with Positivity. And they got like a bunch of people together, and like they just spoke about like positive experiences through pro wrestling. And it's I think I only had like 10, 15 minutes to talk to them about it, but like I could have gone on for hours. Because like, to me, like that is the best part, is like when you get in there and you see a kid and they get excited to see you. Like a couple weeks ago, I had a show and like the fans sat at the exit and they waited for me to come out, and I felt like a rock star, But like to know that like that kid, like he made his dad wait. He's like, no, we gotta wait. We gotta see Smiley. that means a lot. Like that means the world. And like we have a little boy in New Jersey when we go wrestle for Pro Wrestling Magic, Mikey. He was born with cerebral palsy and some sort of brain condition. So he's stuck in a wheelchair and he's nonverbal. But like, he gets excited like when he sees wrestling. Like the moment somebody comes running out and like he gets excited. And then when I run up, and I give him a great big hug before I jump in the ring, and his whole body shakes and he gets all smiling. And like during intermission, like I'll run out there and I'll scoop him up and I'll throw him out in the ring, and me and him will wrestle during intermission. And of course, every time I end up doing the job, and like I lose every show, but like it's okay because like the videos we have of like those experiences and stuff, it's so impactful. And if I could, one of my favorite things is actually one of the earlier events that I took Elijah with me to, and he had an event. We did a rumble, and that's where he first donned the mask. And I'm gonna give it away a little bit, but that's one of my masks, like the mask he wears. But like I never needed it, I never used it. So like it was like he asked if he could use it. And I'm like, of course. So like he used that for the event. He wrestled in it. And then when we went out during intermission and like the kids just started swarming us and like taking pictures, and like, of course I had been around that because I've been doing it for so long, but I would keep looking over at him and like the excitement that he would get from like the fans surrounding him and asking him for photographs and stuff like that. And I'm very protective of my masks. Like I think I've had one of them stolen from me so far and it crushed me. But like I try to protect all my masks and keep them close by because they all have stories to them. Sure. But like the next day when he hit me up, he's like, "Hey, I know you're protective of the mask, but that mask I wrestled in last night, man, like I felt it. Like I felt the power of that mask and like the connection that I had with the fans through it." He's like, "Would you mind if I could have that mask?" And it's like, absolutely. Like just to see that reaction that the fans had and that he had, man, it makes it all worth it.
People who don't get wrestling may not understand it, but there's something that transforms in you. And I've said this before earlier in the conversation, but there's something transforms in you when you become something. And it's not just who you become, but it's what you represent. And, Elijah was talking about, life isn't easy. And for some of these kids who wait at the exit, life may not be easy. Everyone has a story. But what you embody and what you represent in that moment, in that 3 hours, you don't know what they're going to go home to. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I'll never see this kid again. But you know what? If you have that ability to change something or to change someone's outlook or to change someone's mindset, where else can you do that? I mean, right. I teach, and the one thing that has been bestowed upon me is this. Let's just imagine that there is an asteroid heading towards Earth, and this individual's on a path that is not good. You don't have to completely destroy the asteroid. All you got to do is knock it off its course, just a fraction, because as time goes by, that fraction, it gets extrapolated. And guess what? It ends up missing by thousands of miles. And that individual has a brand new lease on life. And it is so cool. But what you guys do, I have so much respect for, because what you do for children and even us adults it's that level of escapism. And we live vicariously through you guys. You guys get to do things that we don't get to do. And the memories you make are memories that are indelible to us on the other side of the rail for forever. So yeah, I am so excited. And if you are excited, guys, I'm telling you right now, you got to get your tickets. ppwwrestling.com. Hit the shop button. All you got to do is click on Blue Meanie, my good buddy Blue Meanie. Click on the button. It's going to say tickets. You can go ahead and get your tickets. Don't be one of those people who says, I really wish I would have got them. Get them. This is going to be one of the most epic nights, period. Not of the summer, not of the fall, period. You are going to see the tag team champions, and you're going to see Project Mayhem. And it is going to be so electric. We talk about the Fan Fest. We talked about everything. What are some things you want people to know leading up to that big night?
I think that most people who are watching now should keep an eye out for us. And the people who aren't watching us now should start watching us, because we're about to bring something that is completely different, completely chaotic, if you will. And the best has yet to come. Like, you just got to wait on it. It's going to come.
Now, let's just say there's, well, we don't have to say it. We know it. A ton of Project Mayhem fans out there. Where can they find T-shirts? Where can they find merches or anything that they can go ahead and wear so when they come to the huge event, they are standing loud and proud for this big tag team championship match?
Yeah.
Oh,
so if you want
one. Oh, you got one?
No, I was gonna say, if you wanted to get some merch made, we're having some stuff done. Currently, we don't have any set merch now, but we're working on some stuff. And if you want to DM Smiley or I on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, then we should have those out pretty soon.
Wow. That is so exciting, you guys. I mean, I cannot tell you how awesome this night is going to be. Sambo Show, great tag team without a shadow of a doubt. But you know what? The unpredictability of pro wrestling, the unpredictability of what Project Mayhem is going to bring to the table. What version of them are you going to see? You're just going to have to wait and see, and you're going to have to buy your tickets. It is the 8th anniversary show. It is PPW. Guys, I have loved every second of this conversation. I wish you guys nothing but the best, but I know you don't need my approval, because you guys are already champions regardless of who wears the belts.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and I'm a longtime fan of the podcast myself, so it's an honor to be a part of it.
Oh, hey, the pleasure is all ours. And if people would like to follow you guys on social media and keep up with everything Project Mayhem, how can they get a hold of you guys?
You first?
I got Instagram and Twitter is at Smiley_Lucha. I have a Facebook like page. It's Smiley the Psycho Luchador. I have a pro wrestling tees store. Just search Smiley. I got a bunch of shirts up there. I'll probably be putting up a new one soon for September, because I like to do like little charity things. So like last year, like for a couple fans of mine that beat cancer, I had T-shirts made of them. So it's like me and them as like little cartoon characters, like Steven Universe characters. And then every shirt that's sold, we donated the money to the Children's Hospital for Cancer Awareness and all that fun stuff. So like hopefully I'll have a new one up there soon for September. That will be a charity shirt. So keep an eye out for that one. And yeah, I think that's all the socials I got.
You can follow me on MySpace. I got Instagram and Twitter. No, I got Instagram.
Got a high five.
Facebook. My Instagram and Twitter is at Elijah Eden _. And if you just search up Elijah Eden on Facebook, my links are on all my socials. So if you can't find one, it's all linked together.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much. It is going to be a great show. We're actually going to be doing the countdown show. We're going to be doing it live for everybody. So yes, we're going to be at the show. We're going to be backstage. We're super, super excited. So can't wait for this.
I can't wait.
Can't wait to see you guys entertain the fans like no one else can.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a great night.
Sounds wonderful. We'll talk to you guys down the road.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
You got it. Ritster, I tell you what, man, I just had a blast with Project Mayhem. I'm telling you right now, predict the unpredictable, expect the unexpected, the Sambo Show. Who is going to come out on top? It's going to be exciting. But how is your water situation here? I mean, are you wearing galoshes and a swimsuit? What's going on at your house, right? Uh-oh. He's got the flip-flops on. What happened, buddy?
Oh, well, got a little water in my basement from kayfabe from last week's water. Hurricane what came through. We probably got like 8-9 inches, and it's coming from last Wednesday. So, yeah.
Wow. So, you know what? The ground, it soaks up water, and then all of a sudden it finds creaks and cracks, and it comes into your house and all that kind of stuff. But it is what it is.
It's horrible because we gave up. That we just got to wait for it to stop. The drain's going down. It's just not going down quick enough.
Yeah.
Kind of like that cheap hooker you try to find on Sniffer's Row. Hashtag Jerry Lynn. That might be our next shirt we get.
Jerry Lynn.
Front row material, Sniffer Row.
Jerry Lynn was telling the Sniffer Row story when we were talking to Sean Waltman a couple of months ago. And I tell you what, I had never, in the nearly 3 years that I've been working with Jerry Lynn, I had never really heard the full version of it. But then you get him and you get Waltman together, and all of a sudden, all of these memories start trickling together. It's like when you're trying to put a puzzle together and you're only given certain pieces, but then Waltman comes in, he starts putting the corner piece and the corner piece, and he fits in a few center pieces, and it's like, gotcha, Jerry. Now we know.
I can't believe that Waltman started off with the time Jerry Lynn got arrested.
I know.
What?
You don't hear that very often.
No, man. But no, I was listening to a little bit of the interview you did, and Project Mayhem, great guys. I love sitting there and seeing them. I love seeing them work. They blew through that tag team gauntlet.
Yes,
at Aerial Assault. Now they got the shot at the titles this Saturday at PPW's 8th anniversary Super Show. Man, can we sit there? Can we start the show? Back-to-back shows off with a title change.
You know what? At this point in time, you never know. And I think, and I was telling him this, it only takes 3 seconds to make history. And I think we're going to see a lot of surprises. We're going to see a lot of great matches. And
off topic, I told Meg the same thing when I was coaching you guys up. It only take 3 seconds to make magic.
I wish I could. Hey, 3 seconds is a long time. I feel like you're giving me a lot of credit. I tell you what, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Maybe not even a commercial break. We'll see.
So, but man, I'm ready.
Yes.
We're halfway through the week.
Yep.
We've got 2 more days of interviews before PPW's 8th anniversary show.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely incredible. We will be there. Front row material will be there, front and center. It is going to be awesome. The Ritzter's going to be there. Kate Hensler's going to be there. I will be here in the studio making sure that I keep everything down. But I mean, from fans, from fan interaction, everything. Who's got you covered like front row material? Nobody.
I haven't
here.
I haven't heard of a podcast that does this yet. No,
I haven't heard of anybody who does live red carpets with all of the stars prior to the event happening. A pregame show, interviews, backstage, fan interactions. And you can only find that here, right here. So you don't want to miss a single episode. And do us a big favor also. And I'm not going to ask you to give me anything for free. This is it's the one time I won't ask.
And we don't ask for much, honestly.
We honestly, we don't.
We ask for 2 things and 2 things only. Freland, you hit him the first one.
Please go ahead and go to Twitch and hit that follow button. We would love to continue to grow our audience on Twitch. Obviously, we have so much content that's still coming. So many people still lined up to join us on the show. So hit that follow button. And if you're so inclined, we would love a subscription to continue to bring you this great content each and every week, brought to you by Front Row Material. And the second one, what's the other thing we would like for people to do?
Head on over to YouTube. Go to the search bar. Search Front Row Material. We're the top one. You know our logo. And speaking of logos, we've got a new one coming on a t-shirt.
Ooh.
That is getting ready to be dropped Monday. Next week on this podcast.
It's going to be a brand new shirt. It is so
Brand
cool.
new shirt.
Ritt and his esteemed design team have been working on this thing for quite a while. And when I saw it, boom, mind was blown. You like the original? Oh, second verse, same as the first, a whole lot crazier and maybe even better. But you're not going to know until you wait. But then there's pre-orders that are going to be happening, correct?
Hey, I'm hitting pre-orders. 6 of them already out the door. I only ordered 2 dozen.
That's it.
I don't honestly know if I'm going to sit there and make these shirts again.
So this could be a limited edition.
It could be a limited edition. And where else can you get a limited edition of your favorite podcast, Front Row Material? Nowhere but here.
This is the real deal. This is the real McCoy. Ritster, it has been fun. It has been a pleasure. It's always fun talking to you. I can't wait to talk more wrestling. Once again, the week is not over yet. There's still more to come. But for now, for the Ritster, I am Mike Freland. It's PPW week, but we're not over yet. We will catch you tomorrow.